Welcome. Have a nice day. Today is Friday, 22nd of November 2024. Sorry. November 22nd is primarily remembered as for the assassination of United States President John F. Kennedy in 1963. This tragic event significantly impacted American history and continues to be a subject of much discussion and speculation. However, it is important to note that the November 2nd, 22nd also holds other historical significance such as Lebanon's Independence Day, celebrated annually to commemorate the country's independence from French rule in 1943. Now, starting the newspaper with the world news, including Conference of Party 29 as deadline, looms nations blocks reject draft negotiating text. Putin warns Ukraine, war is going global, cites a hypersonic missile test. Putin has no interest in peace, says Zelensky, accuses Russia of severe escalation. German minister clears way for Scholz to run for second term. Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro charged with the plotting coup. Bomb cyclone leaves trail of devastation as high winds, heavy rain lash northwest United States. From the Hindu newspaper, briefly we have United Nations Nuclear Agency has both condemns Iran for the second time this year for failing to fully cooperate. The International Atomic Energy Agency also called Tehran to provide answers in a long-running investigation into the uranium particles found at two locations that Tehran has failed to declare as nuclear sites. The United Nations nuclear watchdog condemns Iran for lack of cooperation and calls for answers in the uranium investigation. The United Nations nuclear watchdog is broad on Thursday, November 21, 2024, condemned Iran for failing to cooperate fully with the agency, the second time it has done so in just 5 months. The International Atomic Energy Agency also called on Tehran to provide answers in a long-running investigation into the uranium particles found at two locations that Tehran has failed to declare as nuclear sites. Russia attacked Ukraine with a new missile. West can't stop, claims Vladimir Putin. Russian President Vladimir Putin records a televised address in Moscow, Russia on Thursday, November 21, 2024. The Russian president says Moscow has tested a new intermediate-range missile in a strike on Ukraine and that it could use the weapons against the countries that have allowed Kyiv to use their missiles to strike Russia. The Kremlin fired a new intermediate-range ballistic missile at Ukraine on Thursday, November 21, 2024, in response to Kyiv use this week of American and British missiles capable of striking deeper into Russia, President Vladimir Putin said. In a televised address to the country, the Russian president warned that United States air defense system would be powerless to stop the new missile, which he said flies at 10 times speed of sound and which he called the Orsnik, Russian for hazelnut tree. He also said it could be used to attack any Ukrainian ally whose missiles are used to attack Russia, which he called the Orsnik, Russian for the hazelnut tree. He also said it could be used to attack any Ukrainian ally whose missiles are used to attack Russia. We believe that we have the right to use our weapons against the military facilities of the countries that allow to use their weapons against our facility, Mr. Putin said in his first comment since President Joe Biden gave Ukraine the green light this month to use the US ATACMS ATACMS missiles to strike at limited targets inside Russia. Dozens appear dead in Gaza after Israeli airstrikes. Palestinians stand at the site of an Israeli strike on a house amid the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas in Gaza City on November 21st, 2024. Israeli strikes in Gaza leave dozens dead or missing as hospital director and civil defense agency report. Dozens of people were killed or unaccounted for after Israeli strikes on the Gaza Strip, a hospital director and the civil defense agency said Thursday, November 21, 2024. One strike near the Kamal Adwan hospital in the north of the territory left dozens of the people dead or missing. The facility's director Hossam Abu Saifia told AFP. Nearly 40% of 3.4 million displaced in Myanmar are children, United Nations. At least 650 children have killed or wounded in violence in the country this year. The UNICEF reports 40% of the Myanmar's 3.4 million people who were displaced are children facing conflict, climate disasters, and deadly violence. Children made up of nearly 40% of the more than 3.4 million people in Myanmar displaced by civil war and climate change-driven extreme weather. The United Nations Agency for Children said Thursday, November 21st, 2024, Myanmar has been in turmoil since the military deposed Aung San Suu Kyi elected government in 2021 and launched a crackdown that sparked an armed uprising against the junta's rule. The Southeast Asian nation was also battered by a Typhoon Yagi in September month, triggering major floods that killed more than 400 people and forced hundreds of thousands from their homes. The humanitarian crisis in Myanmar is reaching a critical inflection point with escalating conflict and climate shocks putting children and families at unprecedented risk. United Nations Children's Fund Emergency Fund, Deputy Executive Director Ted Chaiban said in a statement on Thursday, November 21, 2024. Now going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper, states that panel here says Waqf draft report ready, open push for extension. The committee held its 28th meeting on Thursday, and Jagdambai Kapal is believed to have said that the panel has invited a sufficient witness and he held enough meetings. New Delhi Bharatiya Janata Party BJP lawmaker Jagdambai Kapal, the chairman of the Joint Parliamentary Committee looking into the controversial Waqf amendment bills, indicated on the Thursday that the panel may soon start the process of adopting the draft report, even as opposition members of the panel remained adamant about further discussions and said they might meet Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla on Monday to seek an extension. Chief Minister for both meetings, Cookies Byron Thicks, in aimed claim over Manipur Chief Minister and Byron Singh. Embattled Manipur Chief Minister and Byron Singh said on Thursday that he was the leader and the protector of all communities in the state except illegal immigrants and drug peddlers, spatting away suggestions that he should step down in light of the recent spike in violence because he had lost the trust of key groups and allies. Going to the economy of the country, from the business point of view, Reserve Bank of India Maldives Monetary Authority signed pact to promote use of local currencies. The framework between India and Maldives would enable exporters and importers to invoice and settle in their respective domestic currencies. The Ministry of Union was signed by Governor of Reserve Bank of India Shaktikanta Das Right and the Governor of Maldives Monetary Authority Ahmed Munawar. Adani's Green United States fundraise and assures NYSE listing, two reasons why the United States is taking action in an alleged bribery scam in India. The connection with the Adani Group primarily pertains to an Adani Green corporate bond issuance in 2021, which involved United States investors. In its complaint against the Gautam Adani and Sagar Adani, the SEC alleged that Adani Green in September 2021 told purchasers of its corporate bonds with worth $750 million, including more than $175 million, to investors in the United States that none of the company's director of officers had paid or promised to pay bribes to the government officials or attempted to unduly influence those officials. Now going to the science and tech, we have in Ranthambore, tigers and humans struggle for space and survival. Tigers at the Ranthambore Tiger Reserve in Rajasthan, where a man was killed in a tiger attack in November. In Rajasthan's overcrowded reserve, where restricted territories cost human and tigers their lives, a man was killed in a tiger attack and the tiger killed by angry villagers. Alisha Datta travels to villages on the edge of the forest, where residents say the way tigers behave has changed over the years and that their losses are both emotional and financial. On the morning of November 22nd, on a hill lock adjacent to Oliana village, the rhythmic bleating of goats suddenly went silent. Over the next few hours, the village situated in Rajasthan's Savai Madhopur district witnessed the discovery of the corpse, flying axes and improving low-intensity devices protest, and later in the night the carcass of a 12-year-old tiger. Bordering over 1,500 square kilometers runs Thumbo Tiger Reserve. The village has often seen Royal Bengal tiger descend from forested hillocks to the low-lying agricultural fields in search of easy prey like cattle. However, on that Saturday, the tiger was allegedly found sitting next to the mauled body of a villager, Bartlal Meena, 50. The tiger had one paw on the corpus, say villagers. Later, he was identified as Chiricon TS86. The forest department's file name used for tracking purpose. India is an environmental health regulatory agency. There are profound and immediate environmental health challenges to address the India. Having such an agency in India, which is currently lacks, would look at the interlinked issues of climate, environment, health, and the economy in a holistic way. The 2024 Conference of Parties COP29 ends in Baku, Azerbaijan today as a global voice for developing countries. India will push for the ambitious climate mitigation financing from developed nations. At the same time, pollutants in our air, water, and land continue to pose grave health risks. According to the emissions gap report 2024 from the United Nations Environment Programme, India has seen over 6% more greenhouse gas emissions than the previous year. These two examples show that the India is at critical juncture in the environmental and public health journey. As a nation, India continues to experience rapid economic growth, so the interdependencies between climate, environment, health, and the economy are undeniable. But capacities to address these issues holistically are limited. It is time for India to establish an environmental health regulatory agency (EHRA), which could lead to more comprehensive and cohesive environmental governance that focuses simultaneously on the pollution control and health risk mitigation. Indian Institute of Science launches a product accelerator program, Pravirdhi. Pravirdhi provides a platform for enterprises, academia, research laboratories, and investors to collaborate to drive innovation and new product development for a self-reliant India. The Foundation for Science, Innovation and Development (FSID) at Indian Institute of Science has launched Pravirdhi, a pan-India product accelerator program that unites premier Indian institutions and enterprises to develop innovative solutions through the strategic partnership and cutting-edge R&D. FSID, it said, Pravirdhi provides a platform for enterprises, academia, and research laboratories and investors to collaborate to drive innovation and new product development for self-reliant India. The Viksit Bharat 2047 vision projects India to reach a GDP of United States $30 trillion by 2047, with the 25% of this growth expected to be driven by the manufacturing sector. Pravirdhi aims to achieve this vision by promoting market-driven, design-led manufacturing and enabling India to innovate and compete on the global stage, FSID said. With the Pravirdhi, we aim to tackle these challenges by providing access to Indian Institute of Science, world-class facilities, R&D expertise, and robust network of strategic partners across India. By establishing innovation hubs nationwide, we intend to extend our proven program model to provide an audience, empowering diverse industries, and fostering a sustained economic growth and innovation across the country. Professor Govindan Ranjaranjan, Director of Indian Institute of Science, said. More antibiotics, less cure. Antimicrobial resistance declared by the United Nations as one of the top 10 global public health threats facing humanity occurs when pathogens change over the time and stop responding to medicines. Antimicrobial agents making infections harder to treat. Hospitals are seeing increasing instances of the antimicrobial resistance, AMR, declared by the United Nations as one of the top 10 global public health threats facing humanity. On the occasions of the World Antimicrobial Resistance Awareness Week observed from November 18 to 24, Afshan Yasmin looks at the prevalence of AMR and plans to tackle it. Life took a sudden turn for 49-year-old David Thompson and from Bengaluru when he was diagnosed with the mouth cancer. After a successful surgery at a private hospital in the city, he was optimistic about a complete recovery. But 2 weeks after discharge from hospital, he returned feverish and weak with a troubling wound site infection. The infection was resistant to all antibiotics, one of the increasing instances of antimicrobial resistance, AMR. As he was admitted to ICU of a private hospital for monitoring, the medical team feared that if the infection spread to his bloodstream, it could become the life-threatening. Fortunately, he is later stabilized and is now out of the hospital and on the mend. At last, there's a famous personality, APJ Abdul Kalam, whose biography is All Pakir Channel of Abdul Kalam, full name, and the birth anniversary is 15th of October 1931 up to 27th of July 2015. Was an Indian aerospace scientist and a statesman who served as the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. Born and raised in the Muslim family in Rameshwaram at Tamil Nadu, he studied physics and aerospace engineering. He spent the next 4 decades as a scientist and science administrator, mainly at the Defense Research and Development Organization and Indian Space Research Organization, and was intimately involved in India's Valiant space program and military missile development efforts. He thus came to be known as the Missile Man of India for his work on the development of ballistic missile and launch vehicle technology. He also played a pivotal organizational, technical, and political role in India's Pokhran second nuclear test in 1998, first since the original nuclear test by India in 1974. Kalam was elected as the 11th President of India in 2002 with the support of the both ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and the then opposition Indian National Congress, widely referred as the People's President. He returned to his civilian life, education, writing, and public service after a single term. He was the recipient of several prestigious awards, including the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. While delivering a lecture in the Indian Institute of Management Shillong, Kalam collapsed and died from an apparent cardiac arrest on 27th of July 2015. Aged 83, thousands including national level dignitaries attended the funeral ceremony held in the hometown of Rameshwaram, where he was buried with the full state honors. Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam says a very famous quotation. He says that excellence is a continuous process and not an accident. Okay, thank you.